All right, welcome to Questionable Locks, the new show here on the Dirty Boys Network. I'm joined by Morris as usual. I'm Ryan. We're gonna give you a recap of Week 4 NFL, as well as some predictions going into Week 5. As you can tell, this is my bedroom. No green screen action going on here. Not hiding a mess.
And I'm on the beach where they shoot the Corona commercials. Tony Romo's sitting back there somewhere with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Justin, Snoop Dogg, and Andy Samberg sipping back, drinking Coronas. All right, so let's get into the Week 4 recap, sponsored by My Balls. Not only are my balls hanging, but they are hairy. It has been a minute since I shaved, but you know what? At least I'm not shaving off points.
Manscaped sponsor us.
Please, that'd be sick. All right, but to start off, last Thursday, we had the Bengals and the Dolphins. Bengals ended up winning 27-15.
And Tua ended up winning a trip to the ER.
Oh, God. That hit gave him cerebral palsy. I mean, you see
what's 4 plus 3?
Like, what are you supposed to do with your hands? I mean, they shouldn't have even played him that game. Let's be for real.
Yeah, no. He should not have been in.
He got concussed literally the Sunday before. Sunday to Thursday is not enough time to recover from a fucking concussion. But they said he was fine to play. And I don't know how, because if you'd seen him in the game before literally try to walk after the hit, he couldn't fucking walk. And 4 days later, they're saying, yes, time to send him back out there and win a football game.
And then their doctor ended up being fired for such a bad call.
Yeah. I mean, was it even the team doctor, or was it a doctor from out of the office? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I think it was
honestly, making a bad decision like that, it has to be a fucking team.
And it wasn't his first bad decision either. Like, I think 5 other players got screwed by him, where they got cleared and they should not have been played at all.
Is it the same doctor that was in Washington when Trent Williams had brain cancer?
Probably the same doctor that was in San Diego that punctured Tyrod's lung.
It's all the same guy. We got him.
Guy.
We got him, boys.
We got him.
No, but after Tua went out, the Dolphins didn't look fucking good. Jalen Waddle was invisible. Tua, to say the least. And then the Bengals just were the Bengals. Throw it up to Jamar Chase downfield. Hopefully he gets there. T. Higgins had himself quite a fucking game. But
yeah.
Besides that, I really lost all interest in this game as soon as Tua went down. Like, I'd seen the hit, knew, Jesus, I am not a fish. Have you seen that before?
No.
Okay, so apparently, if you're hiccuping, it's like some genetic
that thing. Yeah, I've seen that.
Fish. So all you have to do to stop hiccuping is remind yourself that you are not a fish. And I wish I was joking, but it works.
Guess we'll see what happens.
I mean, do you not just see me hiccuping like nonstop a second ago, and then I said I am not a fish, and now I'm back?
Hey, you never know.
Speaking of fish, let's take a quick swim across the pond for the first game of Sunday out in London. We had the Minnesota Vikings versus the New Orleans Saints. I honestly, I didn't watch this fucking game. I woke up in time for it. I watched the kickoff, but you expect me to fucking stay up at 6:30 a.m. to watch the Saints and Vikings?
Especially when you have Kirk Cousins versus Andy Dalton. Like, it's not. You couldn't really expect this to be a very entertaining game, and I guess it
ended up being a good game, which caught me off guard completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the final score was 28-25, and the only reason why it ended in regulation is because they missed the field goal to tie it at the end.
Which, is probably a good thing.
Honestly, yeah, having to watch more Vikings and Saints.
Yeah, not.
All right. I mean, Justin Jefferson was electric. He had himself quite the fucking game. I don't have his exact stat line. Sure, I can pull it up really quick.
But you expect that out of Justin Jefferson. That's why, I feel like that's why you want to kind of watch a Vikings game, and specifically for Justin Jefferson.
For Justin Jefferson. He had 10 receptions, 147 yards, no touchdowns. Guys are fucking.
Still a pretty good stat line. I mean, you probably wish he catches a touchdown in that game, but still a pretty good stat line.
Yeah, of course. And Kirk Cousins did exactly what you probably expect. 25 of 35, 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. All right. So next we got Seahawks Lions.
Seahawks Lions. All I'll say about the Lions is that they would probably be the best team in the NFL if they could just play a little bit of defense.
Yeah.
If the Lions could stop a fucking rock from moving a yard, they could probably be one of the best teams in the fucking NFL. Like we're talking the Bills, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Rams, and then the fucking Lions. That's your top 5. That's your I mean, the Eagles and Dolphins, I guess you could put up there, but no Tua. Dolphins are, I don't give a fuck. And the Eagles, I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
I don't believe in them.
I don't
Fizzle out.
I don't either.
Fizzle out.
Yeah. Hopefully they just don't catch their, like, that year they won the Super Bowl and they somehow just catch fire and don't let go.
God. If the city of Philadelphia wins another Super Bowl, the world is going to catch on fire.
Yeah.
But we're getting off topic. We were talking about the Seahawks and the Lions. The final was 48-45. Game was a fucking shootout. TJ Hawkinson came out of nowhere. I mean, I've always been a Hawkinson guy. Going back from like his rookie year, I've been a Hawkinson guy. But I didn't expect this. Fucking eight receptions for about 180 yards and a couple tugs.
Making the Rams wish they didn't get rid of Jared Goff over there, huh?
Oh my God. Jared Goff is legitimately my fantasy quarterback this year. Like I picked him up last week and started him, and I have to keep him as my starter in my fantasy league now. But we're talking about a dude that ended up losing because he threw a pick 6, which ended up being the difference in the game. But Geno Smith and the Seahawks still put up 41 points of fucking offense.
Yeah.
With DK Metcalf getting carted off to go take a dump. You heard about that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
DK Metcalf literally got on the cart. He pulled a full Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Where he needed to hop on a cart and get driven to the bathroom so that he could poop. Like, apparently him going down the middle of the field isn't going to be the only thing streaking.
That sounds about right. It sounds like something DK would do, honestly.
Just shit his pants mid go route.
No. That's the thing. He'd go out before he shit his pants.
Oh, okay. Just like
he would like that sounds like a total like DK thing to do. Be like, I'm hurt. I need to go get on the cart. I'm out of here just to come back.
Dude, yeah, I can't let them know that I need a shit. Let me get this cart to come out here. Let me make these dudes earn their money and drive this cart.
Hey, but let's just say he looked like he had some more acceleration when he came back.
He was probably about 2 pounds lighter by the time that he got back out onto the field.
All right, next we got Jets Steelers.
Yep, the Jets and the Steelers. 24-20 victory for the Jets. Zach Milfson returns. And, I mean, he didn't look the greatest, but it's time to take over the world one MILF at a time.
One MILF at a time.
Watch out.
And the Steelers finally get to be happy because they put in Kenny Pickett, which I honestly don't think he's ready, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, would you rather go out there and have Mitch? Like, you know what you're going to see from Mitch day in and day out. At least Kenny Pickett showed something. He got 2 rushing touchdowns, but then also threw 3 interceptions.
But did you see the stat that, like, he didn't technically throw 3 interceptions because, like, they were tip passes and all that?
They were tip balls. But still, like, if you're throwing tip drill balls,
you got to expect that's a 50-50 ball at that point.
Yeah, and if there's a free safety just in the area.
When you got a Robert Saleh defense, you know, you got to expect they're probably going to come down with that, you know?
Yeah, you can't just toss it up against a good defense and expect your receiver to come down with it unless you have a fucking freak of a receiver like Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
but there aren't many Calvin Johnsons just running around the NFL right now.
Exactly. So next up, we got Bears Giants.
Bears Giants. Giants. They're 3-1, but they're not going to do shit. The Bears are terrible. David Montgomery's out, so their backup ran in a decent amount. Khalil Herbert. And then the Giants, it's exactly what you expect. Dale Jones is probably going to throw for about 170 yards and then run for another like 60. And then Saquon Barkley is going to make some dudes miss in the backfield, busts out a crazy run just for Daniel Jones to punch it in with his feet in the red zone. Like,
yeah.
2012 final score, next fucking game. Titans, Colts.
Colts are dead.
Simple as that.
The Colts line they're supposed to be like one of the best units in the NFL. They look terrible. Matt Ryan, they're wheeling out a corpse at this point. I don't see him playing more than another season in this league. Like, he's not doing great. Titans, they're still just they get Derrick Henry going. They're still going to be a decent team.
I mean, Derrick Henry could run all over teams, but like they got blown the fuck out by the Bills last week. They allowed 17 points to the Colts this week. That's probably the most that they've scored all year.
Yeah.
I'd seen this earlier on Twitter. What Matt Ryan is doing to the Colts is considered elder abuse. Just a team being crippled by a quarterback that was once awesome, but is now old as all hell and can't move at all. He's literally there.
If the Colts really want to be a contender, they really need, honestly, what they need to do is draft a guy in this upcoming draft. I don't know quite who the quarterback prospect. Yeah, but I mean, they can't keep signing guys from our league. Obviously, that experiment's not working. They've had 3 new quarterbacks in the past 3 seasons. They need to draft a guy, and as much as it sucks to say, probably have him sit behind Matt Ryan for a couple games just to see how you play in the NFL kind of thing.
Fuck. Do you think Matt Ryan's even going to be around for that long?
Probably not. The way he's playing, probably not.
All right. So, end of the day, both teams suck. Moving on. We got the Chargers and the Texans. Chargers won 34-24. They tried their best to blow the game late, but they happened to hold on.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, probably the new Ben Roethlisberger, where he's just going to play through injuries, but they're just not going to stop talking about it so that everybody feels pity for him. So Justin Herbert with broken ribs goes 27 of 38 for 340 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but honestly, I think he needs to start playing a little more careful. I think he should probably, as much as you don't want to hear is, I think he needs to sit for a couple games, or else he might end up like Baker Mayfield, where he looked decent, but then just played himself because of injuries. He's playing himself out of the league with injuries.
Not necessarily. This is the first real injury that he's had, and he's playing through it just fine. Like, you could tell he's trying to avoid being hit clearly, but I mean, he's gonna play. He might be the new toughest quarterback in the NFL.
Let's hope it doesn't ruin him.
Hey, I'm just saying, once Ben Roethlisberger went out of the league, we needed a new toughest quarterback.
That is true.
And Justin Herbert has the build to be that big, strong guy that just plays through injuries.
Yeah.
This was also the Keenan Allen comeback game, I guess. Not Keenan Allen, fucking Austin Eckler. He's been almost invisible all year. And then he finally had himself a good game.
Yeah. So not much more to say about that. Like,
on to the Browns and Falcons.
Another boring game.
Browns are not good. Falcons aren't good. Falcons aren't going to be good. Browns are going to stay the Browns. Jacoby Brissett's not the answer to get you until Deshaun Watson, who's probably still not going to look that good when he comes back because he hasn't played in 2 freaking years.
And he doesn't have really that good of a team around him.
No.
For as much as you wanted to say about, the Texans in the past couple of years, at least they had D-Hop.
Yeah, they had D-Hop and Watt for a period of time, but like they couldn't just hold on to those guys forever.
No. So boring game. Next up, Cowboys Commanders.
Cooper Rush is the new quarterback. Simple as that.
It's going to be a battle when they come back. I just don't see you paying Dak as much.
Wait, go ahead.
I was going to say, when Dak does come back, I think it is going to be somewhat of a QB battle because you can't pay that guy that much money just to have him sit on the bench, you know?
Yeah, of course not. But Jerry Jones has already said that there is going to be a quarterback competition.
Oh, yeah.
I think he loves Cooper Rush because he reminds him a lot of Jason Garrett. Looking at the dude, he's like if Jason Garrett and fucking Andy Dalton had a baby. And then he went and played for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But that's what Cooper Rush is.
So Cowboys, as much as
Cowboys beat Commanders 25-10. Carson Wentz was Carson Wentz.
Yeah, exactly. Jaguars Eagles.
The Doug Peterson revenge game didn't pan out. Eagles defense was still pretty fucking good. They allowed 21 points. I mean, that's not great, but Jaguars have a decent offense. Is Jalen Hurts that fucking dude though? Like, is it too early to talk about it? Because I mean, who have the Eagles really played? They've played the Jaguars. They've played the Vikings. They've played the. Oh wait, that's preseason. Yeah, they've played the Vikings, Commanders, Jaguars, and Lions.
Yeah,
They almost flew it to the Lions. They shit on the Vikings, but what do you expect? It's Kirk Cousins in a primetime game. Has never came through once in his life in primetime.
We just got to be worried because, like we mentioned earlier, the Eagles might go. If the Eagles didn't lose to Kirk Cousins, the Kirk Cousin curse can't come in and affect them. So we might have to look out for them going to the Super Bowl. Fuck,
dude. If the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, I'm actually going to be so mad. All right, but next up we got the Bills versus the Ravens. The game everybody thought was going to be the shootout of the fucking ages. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I mean, it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. Bills came back from being 20-3 down to win 23-20. Like, Josh Allen was able to rally the troops. The defense fucking stepped up in the second half. And just where did Lamar Jackson go?
Yeah. Definitely I think that the Bills were just able to kind of take away Lamar's run game, which when you do that, it kind of takes away literally half of Lamar's game. So
yeah, maybe even more. I feel like a lot of plays open up because of the threat of him using his legs.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Bills turned into some dogs to come back. I mean, and they managed to take away Lamar's game. Not much more to be said. The Bills have one of the best defenses in the league. Not too much else needs to be said there. So next up we have Cardinals Panthers. We can go quick over this because the Cardinals should have beat the Panthers. This has only been a talking point if they would have lost. Like,
yeah, Cardinals win as they're expected to. Kyler Murray did the Kyler Murray thing where he just like runs around in the backfield for a couple seconds and then gets rid of it. Although Brian Burns was on his ass. I don't know if you watched that game, but Brian Burns was on his ass, dude.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, Baker was Baker. Cardinals defense stepped up. J.J. Watt looked like old J.J. Watt. On to the Broncos and Raiders.
Fuck the Broncos.
The Raiders own the fucking Broncos. There's no other way to say it. Like, they've won, I don't even know how many consecutive games against them. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Games in the past few years against the Broncos. The Broncos are not really riding.
No.
Yeah, so the Broncos aren't riding. Raiders scrape by.
Probably gonna be one of their few wins of the season.
Neither of those teams I really see making a push at any point in the playoffs.
If they even make playoffs.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't even see them making a push into playoffs.
Oh yeah, exactly. Next up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty much all that has to be said about that game. I mean, what do you expect? I don't know.
They're cuties. They're not going nowhere.
Yeah. Packers Patriots.
Packers Patriots. Yep.
It was you know, it's one of those things you can't ever doubt a Bill Belichick team, but I mean, when you're facing a third string quarterback, yeesh.
Yeah, you can't go to overtime against a third stringer.
Yeah,
and Aaron Rodgers had a tough start. I'm pretty sure he only had like 36 yards for most of the first quarter. Patriots did a good job at neutralizing him, making sure he wasn't passing. Because I know through the first quarter, I'm pretty sure, or like midway through the second quarter, he was only like 3 of 8 passing. And then he finally started connecting with Alan Lazard, Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So,
But,
I mean,
the Packers, this game really worries me for them because they have an outstanding defense. They still have Aaron Rodgers, who's the back-to-back MVP. Alan Lazard is his big threat, though. Like, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb are the 2 receivers that he's going to be going to game in and game out.
and like I do like the Packers backfield, but like you can't rely on your backfield to win you games. Like, yeah, they can do a lot of work, but the Packers just aren't a running team, you know?
I mean, that's the thing. They're not a running team, but they're hurting their run game, I feel, by putting A.J. Dillon out there. Because Aaron Jones is just so much fucking better.
Yeah.
And he's more of a threat on the pass as well. I mean, I understand A.J. Dillon is a bowling ball of a fucking running back. You hand him the ball, he'll fall forward for probably about 3.
Yeah. He's a third down back for sure.
Yeah,
like,
that's all he's good for, though. Like, I don't understand why he's getting as many touches as Aaron Jones.
Just because it's like one of those things. Like I think Matt LaFleur knows you can't run the shit out of one back, or else you risk injury, you risk fatigue for the later moments in the game, all that. But still, Aaron Jones definitely needs more touches.
Yeah. All right, on to the Sunday night game. Chiefs and Buccaneers. 41-30 victory.
I watched this game. It was not a bad game to watch. I kind of expected the Chiefs to pull that one out. The Chiefs just look like a juggernaut again this year. I don't know how they managed to lose to the Colts, but
yeah, that's what makes no sense is the Colts tie with the Texans, get shut out by the Jaguars, go to beat the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
It's
but
probably the one game a year. Like, let's be real. The Chiefs have one of those games every year where it's just like, how the fuck did they lose to these guys?
Yeah. Where they kind of believe their own hype just a little too much.
But yeah, Tom Brady got his receivers back, had a good week. Mike Evans fucking killed me in fantasy. I mean, I had him in the league, but it was a league that I already won in. So he fucked me in 2 of my other leagues. So that was great. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're awesome. Mike Evans is a freak. Tom Brady is just old as all fuck.
And I think he has too much off the field. I think he has too much off the field issues going on to where it's like it's starting to affect him on the field. Because I mean, you can't. I don't know. As from like a former football player's point of view, you can't have that much stuff going on off the field and expect to play good on the field. You know?
Especially when Zach Wilson is sliding in your wife's DMs once he heard about the lawyer being hired.
Yeah, exactly.
Antonio Brown also posting on Twitter about Giselle.
Oh yeah.
Tough week for Tommy Boy.
Taking L after L.
And then we go on to the Monday night game where my 49ers beat the living I can't say that, but the defense shut down the Rams. I mean, Cooper Kupp did his fucking thing, but did he have a touchdown?
Nope.
He did not. So all of those yards were useless. Final score was 24-9. And it was a
Funga.
fun game.
That dude's a dog.
Yeah, Talanoa Hufanga coming up with a huge pick 6 that really put the game away in the fourth quarter. Or it was in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think it's like when there was only like 3 or 2 minutes left in the game.
No. There was still more time than that. I think it was like 6 minutes left.
Either way, dude looks like a dog.
I had a bet or I had a parlay where it was Debo over 58 receiving yards, and then Matthew Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo to both throw an interception. So I remember seeing that, getting hyped about the Stafford interception, but after he took it back for 6, that's when I got really worried about the Jimmy Garoppolo interception, which of course the one week I decided to bet on Jimmy, he decides not to be a shit can.
That's the thing about this game that makes me worry. I hope the 49ers are able to carry this momentum, and I hope they are able to keep this going. But I mean, the Niners just have the Rams number. We're 9-0 against them in regular season, and yeah, we just have their number. Shanahan knows how to beat McVay. We almost beat them last year in the championship. I mean,
It was literally a Jaquaski Tar interception away.
yeah. So,
but at the same time, very next drive, Jalen Ramsey dropped an interception. That's all I'll say.
Hey, we're seeing the decline of Jalen Ramsey.
I'm a 49ers fan, but I am an anti-Jimmy guy. I mean, I'm rocking with him because he's on our team and he's our only fucking option besides Brock Purdy. But if I had a choice on who would be my quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo would be at the bottom of my fucking list.
Yeah.
Because we would have won the Super Bowl a couple years ago if he was a competent quarterback. We would have won the NFC Championship last year if he was a competent quarterback. We would have beat the fucking Broncos last week if he was a competent quarterback. So after all that, I was ready to fucking just give up on him. And then this week he shows he can maybe do a job. I mean, I'm not saying I'm giving trust into Jimmy, but if he could just do what he did like last week, every week, maybe even a little bit worse, like as long as he just doesn't turn the ball over and give safeties up once a week, the 49ers are in great fucking shape.
Yeah. It's just, we got, like I said, it's just the Niners have the Rams number. So I guess we'll have to wait to see what happens in the future against other opponents. But like I said, I hope they're able to ride this momentum and keep pulling out dubs.
Yeah.
And I hope that, because you know that defense is going to look great. Because I mean, this is what?
Yeah.
Like this is like the third.
Has this defense buzzing.
Yeah. Because like they've only, I think they haven't let up more than 13 in the past 3-4 weeks, huh? Right?
I don't believe so. Let me check that.
Because I think the Broncos only beat us 11-10.
Yeah.
And the Bears only beat us.
We allowed 19 to the Bears.
Well.
49ers have allowed 19 points week 1, 7 points week 2, 11 points week 3, and then 9 points week 4.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, the Niners' biggest weakness for their defense is just a mobile QB. I swear, remember that one year Lamar tore us up? Yeah, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Fields, 3 mobile quarterbacks, tear us up every time we play them.
Russell Wilson. I mean, I was saying it a couple weeks ago. I didn't end up posting the video, but what I was saying was my biggest fear about playing the Broncos came true. Is that in a huge moment, Russell Wilson's going to do the thing where he escapes the pocket, rolls out, and makes shit happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I haven't seen him do that all year. And then, of course, he plays the 49ers, and it's just like riding a bike again and whooping our ass.
Yeah. Week 5 predictions. First up, we got the Colts and the Broncos.
I don't know why God does this to us every fucking week, every year. By God, I mean Roger Goodell, because he is the God of the NFL. You talk bad about him, he will strike you down. And I feel like he gets off on giving us bad Thursday night football games. The Colts and Broncos, are you kidding me?
The only thing I could say towards that is it looked probably promising preseason.
Preseason, it looked like it would have been a good game. Possibly. But at the same time, you didn't at all have a like feeling in the back of your mind where it's like Matt Ryan is old as all hell. He was literally sitting with Jesus and Tom Brady in fucking class. Him, Jesus, LeBron, and Tom Brady were all in fucking pre-algebra together. And you think he's not going to slow down at all in Indianapolis?
Yeah, you got a point there. Honestly, I'm thinking Broncos take this one. Russell Wilson's just going to be able to run all over him. Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, I think the Broncos win this one handily, but I'm just not looking forward to watching this on Thursday night.
No, me neither. So next up, we got Giants Packers. I think this is going to be similar to the Cardinals versus Panthers last week. The Packers should win. The only reason this would be a talking point is if they lose. There's not much to say. It's Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, the Giants are 3-1. I mean, I don't think that they're good by any sense, but the Packers aren't exactly the
great either.
They've been the past few years. Like,
yeah,
they almost lost to a third string last week. They almost lost to a fucking third string. And Daniel Jones has been actually effective using his legs. So if Saquon and Daniel Jones could have a good game on the ground, this game could really go either fucking way.
Yeah, but I still see the Packers taking this one.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm going to lean towards the Packers until they prove me that they're no longer a team that I can look at as being like, okay, the Packers should win this. Because as long as they got Aaron Rodgers back there, they have a chance.
God, I'm just looking at these games. Roger, he low-key fucked us on this week of NFL. This is going to be looking like it's going to be a boring week of football.
It's looking like that so far. Yeah, and then the next game, we got the Steelers and the Bills. Bills should wipe their fucking asses with the Steelers, especially if Kenny Pickett's playing. But at the same time, Kenny Pickett could shock the fucking world and become the Lord and Savior of Pittsburgh. And they'll start selling merchandise of Pickett to Pickens. Think about that. You're telling me that wasn't thought out at all when they were drafting George Pickens after drafting Kenny Pickens? They're like, think about it, dude. The marketing will be sick. We can do Pickett to Pickens shirts. It'll be Pickett fucking hammering in a Pickens fence. Like,
yeah, I just think the Bills have too much of a grudge. I think they're going to fucking blow out the Steelers.
Yeah, but at the same time, if the Bills didn't come back and win last week against Baltimore, I was ready to say that they were no longer the unstoppable fucking force that I thought they were going into this year.
Yeah, but they came back, so you can't,
Yeah, they can. They're still the fucking Bills. They're still gonna rock everybody's shit.
Yeah. So next we got let's see. Another team's gonna probably blow out the other team. Chargers, Browns. Not too much to say. Chargers should win.
Well, I mean, Myles Garrett was out last week after the car accident. I forgot to mention that earlier, is that there was no Myles Garrett in last week's game. But they were saying that the injuries were minor, so he could possibly be back this week. I don't know how long they're planning on holding him out, but I wouldn't exactly rush him.
Myles Garrett is a game changer. I just don't see that affecting
I don't
who
think
wins
there's
this game
either for the Chargers, unless he's back this week too. He was out last week.
I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm thinking the Chargers should take this.
Yeah, no, Herbert's too good. He's been playing with the broken ribs, and it still doesn't seem to be really slowing him down much. Pretty sure Keenan Allen's going to be back this week too, so that offense is going to be at full strength, and yeah, they should beat the shit out of the Browns.
Yeah.
And then we got the Lions and the Patriots, where we got the man Dan Campbell, MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell, the one and only, the one that I dressed up as Halloween, my fucking hero, against Bill Belichick, one of the greatest to ever fucking do it.
Yeah, this is a tough one because you never want to doubt Bill Belichick, but at the same time, man, I just want to.
The Lions' offense is awesome, and they're a fun team to cheer for. I like rooting for the Lions.
And who knows if Mac Jones is going to be back this week? If Brian Hoyer is going to be back? I mean, that's not saying much.
Who are we getting at quarterback? Is it Mac, Hoyer, or Zappe?
Either way, if the Lions are able to keep it high flying, I think they should win this game because the Patriots offense hasn't really
they're bad.
Done too well. They put up 17 in week 2. Yeah. And I mean, they put up 26.
Right. The offense is bad.
Yeah.
That's all there really is to say. Like, you got Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, not even offensive and defensive coordinator. They're just coach.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I do see this as being a game that the Lions take.
I think they do. I want to see it. This would be I think this would be kind of a statement game for MCDC if he's able to beat Bill Belichick.
But
just a little bit.
At the same time, you got to remember, you can't have shit in Detroit. You can't. Have shit in Detroit.
That is true. So what do you think? What are you thinking on this one?
Lions. I mean, what else am I really supposed to think? We don't know who the fucking Patriots quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Mac Jones, Brian Hoyer, or Walmart Mac Jones? Because I don't know if you've looked at Zappy at all or Zappy.
Yeah, they're twins. They're twins.
That's his fucking cousin.
Yeah, no. So I think honestly think if Mac doesn't come back, I still think the Lions have this. Brian Hoyer is literally the discount version of Jimmy Garoppolo. Like,
honestly, Brian Hoyer just like stays with the Patriots because I don't think he expects to play like ever.
Yeah,
I'll just sit here and collect my check. Hell yeah.
And he knows how to be a Patriot. He knows what Bill Belichick likes.
Yeah, he knows what to expect from being on the Patriots.
Yeah.
All right, the next game we got the Texans and the Jaguars.
Probably going to be a boring game.
Honestly, it could be a very interesting one because of how bad both teams are. Defensive breakdowns on both ends, big plays could break out. Dameon Pierce has been showing up. And then Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it's always fun to watch Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I mean,
he was the golden boy for the longest time, and now he's in the NFL, and I don't feel like enough people talk about him.
Yeah.
And it's just because in a shitty situation in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better. You can't lie. It's starting to get better for him.
It is. Brandon Peterson over Urban Meyer. Huge.
Yeah. I see Jaguars taking. I'm going Trevor Lawrence, baby. Jaguars.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. The Jaguars are going to take this game. I'm not going to say handily, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game and then they just pull away a little bit at the end.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up, Falcons Buccaneers. Pretty fucking obvious.
I think this could be a trap game I think this could be a trap game. I mean, I know the Bucs are just coming off of the loss. I know Brady's dealing with a bunch of shit off the field, but everybody expects the Bucs to win. But the Falcons have enough pieces around on their offense where they could keep up with, I feel like, a decent amount of teams offensively, at least. I mean, Cordell Patterson's out, but Algier looks pretty decent. And then I don't remember the other dude's name, but they had another running back that came in fucking big, boy. This dude was big. And he was just a bowling ball just running down the middle.
Yeah, but it's still the Falcons. I feel like they're going to blow a lead. They're going to blow a lead to Tom again.
But this could also be reversing the curse. This could be reversing the Falcons' curse from the Super Bowl because last week they had a comeback win. They had a comeback win last week.
That is true.
Yeah, they came back on the Browns. They came back on the Browns to win. So that's step one of reversing the curse is coming.
Yeah, but
game. Step two, beat Tom Brady. If they beat Tom Brady this week, the Falcons will be back. Not this year, but possibly next year if they get a better quarterback to step in over Mariota and tighten up that defense.
Yeah. I still think Buccaneers.
You could believe in the Buccaneers. I just could see the Buccaneers disappointing people.
That is true.
Because, like I was saying earlier, elder abuse.
Very true. All right, so next up is Dolphins.
Jets and Dolphins.
If Tua was in, I'd say Dolphins all the way. With Tua out,
it could be a game. I mean, the Dolphins defense is better. I mean, I feel like the Dolphins are still an overall better team because, I mean, look at the quarterback matchup that we still have. It's Zach Wilson and Teddy B. Like, those guys are kind of down here. I mean, Teddy works his way a little bit more towards the middle just by being a veteran and protecting the ball a bit. But Zach Wilson can make things happen. He can. And especially with Garrett Wilson and his connection with Elijah Moore as it is, Conklin's looking pretty good. And the run game's starting to come together. Salah's fixing that defense up. It could be absolutely a game. It's all about containing Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
So I guess we'll have to see what happens there. But I think you know what? I'm gonna go with Bob Saleh and Cougar Hunt and Zach Wilson.
I'm on the same page. It's Zach Wilson's world. We're all just living in it.
Yes, sir. There's Vikings.
Can I throw a ZM? Is that possible? That's an S. Z. Is it backwards or is it forward? It's backwards.
It's backwards.
ZM, baby.
ZM, baby. ZM.
Zach Milson.
All right. Bears, Vikings. I feel like this is going to be a boring game. If Justin Jefferson's able to light up.
Yeah.
Justin
Jefferson's going to torch them, but I feel like this is going to be like a tighter game than people will expect because for some reason the Vikings just like play down to their competition, I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
so I'm gonna go with Vikings, but I mean, I could see the Bears keeping this close for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason the Bears could keep it close, but then Justin Jefferson's going to break off like a 50-yard reception for a touchdown, and then that's where all the momentum is going to switch to the Vikings, and then everybody's going to be talking about Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson again after this week.
Yeah.
Even though they just barely escaped New Orleans. All right, then we got Titans versus Commanders. Holy fuck. This week hurts. Guess I'm going to go with the Titans.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's hard to go against Derrick Henry. And it's hard though. It's in my head as a 50-50.
It really is because it all depends on which Carson Wentz decides to show up this week.
And which version of Derrick Henry decides to show up this week.
Well, it all depends on if Derrick Henry eats his Wheaties or not, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's all. I think that's probably going to be another boring game this week. Titans should win it. Enough said.
Titans over Commanders. Next game, we have Andy Dalton versus Gina Smith. Fuck, that is not a game I thought I'd be saying I'm going to watch in 2022. I did not think I would see this quarterback matchup.
If it was famous Jameis, I would take the Saints, but Geno Smith, he's actually not been a terrible quarterback this year, and I hate to do it.
When you have DK Metcalf, that dude's a literal specimen. He's like 6'4", 225, runs a 4.4 40 and benches 225 for like 20 reps.
And you also have Tyler Lockett still.
Yeah,
that's a nice side piece.
Kill you with speed, but like the ability to just toss it up and just be like, yeah, DK is probably going to come down with this. I feel like that's too easy at times.
So I guess we got the Seahawks in that. Probably going. It might be.
I mean, the Saints do play a lot of one-on-one man coverages. So, I mean, DK could absolutely eat this game, depending on who they put on him. But I never like to count out the Saints. But at the same time, I got to, like, keep reminding myself, Sean McVay's not there. And not Sean McVay.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a whole new fucking thing.
It's either going to be a shootout or it's going to be boring. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, it's either going to be a 17-9 game or it's going to be a fucking 35-28 like type of beat.
Yeah.
Like 30, like 38-20, 38-30 or some shit.
Yeah. Next up, 49ers Panthers.
This shouldn't even be close. 49ers defense is one of the best in the leagues. Baker Mayfield has a tendency to turn the ball over. Only thing that scares me is Christian McCaffrey.
But let's see what happens when he gets hit in the mouth.
That he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So 49ers take that one easily. Like, we don't need to get into it. Unless Jimmy Garoppolo decides to be a shit can this week and throws like 2 interceptions to JC Horn and one of them gets taken back. Because the 49ers offense is not good. Let's be for real. They're not good.
You got Debo. You got Ayuk.
We're averaging 17 points a game against some not so good teams.
Yeah. Kittle is not looking like Kittle anymore.
Well, fucking Kittle's been invisible. Like, when do we see Kittle going out to get receptions anymore? Especially with Trent Williams being injured. They're holding him back for extra blocking.
Yeah. So 49ers should have that, but it's all in Garoppolo, honestly.
It's probably going to be another Debo game.
Yeah.
And just like hit him on screens, end arounds, because I will be shocked if Jimmy throws a ball over 25 yards this game.
Yeah, same.
Like in the air over 25 yards, I will be shocked.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was about to say, like, I'll do 100 push-ups if he does it, but I don't want to do 100 fucking push-ups.
You'll do a dirty boy style. You'll do a entire 12-pack shotgun.
No, oh my lord. I'd rather do the push-ups. I'd rather do the push-ups than try to shotgun a 12-pack.
All right. Well, me and him will both think of a challenge that we could do if Garoppolo throws over a 25-yard pass. We'll think of something.
If he completes a pass over 25 yards.
And it has to be through the air, not a yak. Not a yak.
No. Yak is bullshit. Like Jimmy's stat sheet looks so much better than it is because of yak.
Yeah.
It was like 16. What was his numbers last week? It was like 25 of 38 or something like that.
Something like that.
Let's see. Go back to last week's game. That's the Rams. Where the fuck's all right, 49ers. 16 of 27 for 239 yards. But Debo got like 50 of those between two catches after the catch.
Yeah, exactly. So 49ers should have this unless Jimmy Garoppolo decides to suck a thumb this week.
Yeah, literally where he just does that thing where he decides to turn the ball over at like one of the worst times in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
If he could just avoid doing that, that'd be kind of fucking sick. Not gonna lie.
That would be nice. All right, so next up we have, I think, a game that I think a lot of people are going to have an eye on, Eagles Cardinals.
It could be interesting, but I feel like right now the Eagles are just too hot, and the Cardinals still don't have DeAndre Hopkins, so I can still see that Eagles defense making noise against the Cardinals.
It'll just be about if they can actually contain Kyler. I mean, that's really the real question, I think.
They have one of the best D-lines in football to begin with and a pretty solid secondary. Slay's
that
been
is true.
Out of his fucking mind so far this year.
So, I mean, I think without D-Hop, I'm going to take the Eagles. If the Cardinals had D-Hop, I would probably say the Cardinals, but
more towards the Cardinals.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, no, I could see the Eagles like going 6-0, 7-0 to start the season because they have a relatively lighter front half of the schedule, I believe.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Like the Eagles have relatively speaking, they have a pretty easy schedule this year.
Yeah, so I could see them making it to the playoffs and then fizzling out. Like maybe not the division, probably the divisional round because they're not going to be a wild card team. They're going to win the NFC East this year.
Probably.
Because let's be real, if you go over 500 in the NFC East, you win the fucking division.
Yeah. All right. Enough said about it. I mean,
9-8, you win the division.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, who are you competing against? You're competing against the only other team that's like worthy of talking about is
it's the Cowboys, it's the Commanders, and it's the Eagles.
And the Cowboys are probably the only team that's going to be competing with them.
Yeah, unless the Giants somehow stay at this pace that they've been at, where they're 3-1 right now. If they could win at a 75% clip for the season, let's see, that would be 13-4, 12-5.
Something like that, yeah.
Which I don't see them doing, but if they could do it, they'll win the division.
Yeah.
But the NFC East, the NFC Beast always devours itself.
Yeah. Probably one of the worst divisions in football, let's be honest.
All right. The next we got the Rams versus the Cowboys. I know this is supposed to be a good game, a close game, but I think the Rams beat the shit out of the Cowboys.
Yeah, same.
Unless Micah Parsons and Diggs.
Trayvon
have a fucking good game, like a very good game where it's like Trayvon is locking up fucking Cooper, but Trayvon's not that good of a man, or not man coverage, but a coverage guy. He's good at jumping the route and intercepting balls. That's why you see him get beat on big plays, but you also see him make the big play with an interception.
Like the only way I see the Cowboys pulling this one out is if they're able to shut down Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee, which I just don't see them shutting down both. They're going to be able to shut down probably Higbee, but I don't think they're going to be able to shut down Kupp.
I mean, the Cowboys could stay in it because they have been looking relatively good offensively with Cooper Rush in there still. So if he could get the ball to Noah Brown or CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard and Zeke could continue to have a decent run scheme going, they have a chance.
Yeah. But I see the Rams taking it.
The Rams are going to kick their ass.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Bengals Ravens.
AFC East.
Which again, this sounds like another game preseason. We're talking. It sounds like it should be a good game, but with Joey B, he's not without him getting a good O-line protection, and he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna quite be able to put it up the same way to Jamar Chase against the Ravens defense. I think the Ravens got
their secondary is significant, or not significantly better, but I feel like they do have a better defense than the Dolphins. Although the corners for the Dolphins are very good.
Yeah. I see, and unless the Bengals are able to shut down Lamar, which probably won't happen, the Ravens have this.
Yeah, it's literally you got to hope like Hendricks could just get to that backfield and disrupt Lamar Jackson's rhythm by any means. But I don't see Lamar having a quiet game after having a quiet second half last game, because that now the media is going to be talking about Lamar if he has another bad game.
Because he kind of needs this.
Talking about him in a good way.
Because Lamar needs this season and next season to be a pretty good seasons in order for him to get a good contract.
Well, no,
so I don't see him.
This is the contract year.
Yeah, well, no, because they can franchise tag.
Yeah, they can. But
and they probably will if they don't give him a contract. Like, there's nothing stopping the team from franchising tagging him. You know?
No, there's not. And honestly, you don't let a talent like Lamar Jackson just walk out the door.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ravens should have this. I think Lamar's going to come out. He's going to have somewhat kind of a.
I think this is going to come down to a Justin Tucker field goal. I feel like these games always do.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday night game. Come on. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close-ass game. The Bengals will probably be leading going into the last possession by like 1 or 2 points. And then the Ravens are going to drive the ball for Justin Tucker to hit a 55-plus yard field goal to win it.
Yeah. So that's that game. Last game of the week. Raiders Chiefs.
Raiders versus Chiefs.
I think it's going to be the Raiders. Psych.
I mean, dude, you never know with in-division games. Because I feel like a lot of times teams set up their teams to where it's just to beat a specific team in their division.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs lose another surprise game this so close to losing against the Colts. I just don't. I see.
But I could see it being a close game going into I'm not going to say into the fourth quarter. Probably into the fourth quarter, honestly. I can see the Chiefs running, like getting a hot start. The Raiders being a little, well, not rattled, but just coming out slowly. Let's say the Chiefs take a 10-0 lead, finish up 17-3 at halftime, and then the Raiders bring it back to like a 24-17 type of game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs just close it out with whoever they fucking want. They have so many options there. Like, they don't have Tyreek anymore, but they filled Tyreek's production with a Juju Smith-Schuster and an MVS, a Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah. So I think the Chiefs have this, but like you said, it's always interesting, especially in that AFC West. Like it's always going to be interesting in that division.
Yeah, whenever it's one of the stronger divisions in football.
Yeah. So I mean, to recap, kind of a boring week in football, but hey man, there should be a couple decent games, but honestly, most of them are probably going to be pretty boring to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. I just can't wait till we get to week 6 when we get to see the Bills play the Chiefs. That's going to be a good game.
Okay. That's what
week 6 is going to be a good week. Couple of snoozers, but let's just get through this week first.
Yeah, I'm looking at week 6 right now. Fuck, I need this week to come.
Yeah, week 6 is going to be a good week, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. This was the week 4
week 5.
This was the week 4 recap.
Like predictions, I guess.
Yeah, predictions.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll do it for Questionable Locks. Make sure you like, subscribe if you made it this fucking far. I'll be surprised if you did. Mom, sorry for cursing. But again, to close it out, this video is sponsored by my balls. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll be back next week with more NFL predictions. Till then, catch y'all fuckers later.
Hell yeah.